What's happening, everybody? Anybody? So making some ABS slurry here. This is kind of how I glue my clone pieces together. This is excess scrap from cutting out these pieces. So excess scrap. Excuse my dog in the background. She likes to bark. Cut this up into little chunks. Put it in this glass jar. Has to be a glass jar. Plastic will not work for this. It will melt it. And then you mix it with acetone, fingernail polish remover, basically, and it will create like a plastic glue that you then use to meld the armor together. And rather than creating kind of two separate pieces that are glued together, it scientifically melds that crap together. It's pretty cool. So before I start trying to fabricate any pieces, that's my dog, I always have to make some slurry. So fair warning to anybody who's getting into any type of armor or prop making. It's a lot of solitary time doing little things like this. This is the non-glamorous side. So you end up with fine projects at the end, but you got to do all kinds of crappy stuff like this. So yeah, I'll mix this, put this in here, just pour the acetone in there, and you let it sit like an hour, mix it up, stir it up. If it's not to the consistency you want, you either add a little more acetone or add a little more cut up pieces of plastic. So yeah, anybody got any questions about making clone? Or questions about my dog rampant barking? Let me know. She's about to start communicating with the neighbor dog, so. So yeah, what I'm gonna first start working on here piecewise is gonna be so the arm. So I'll get this together, then I'm going to go ahead and kind of get these sides to where they're lining up good. And yeah. When you cut a shim, like this won't be the shim, but it's going to be a little thin piece of plastic like this. You slurry it to one side, and then slurry that piece in there. I'm gonna go close the garage door so that stupid dog you won't hear it. So be right back. All right, that's a little better. So yeah. Solitary life of a, hey, what's going on, HMF edits? Solitary life of a prop maker. Just be prepared for a lot of alone time. Typically, I'll sit in here with just a playlist or maybe a book on tape playing while I'm doing all this stuff. But yeah, it's hours and hours of this. Yeah, but if anybody has any specific questions about how to build a clone, let me know. I've done several. This one that I'm working on right now is a Commander Cody. I've got the helmet done. I've got the shoulder bells done. This is the armor itself now. Oh, I got the jetpack done too. Cody's got a jetpack. That's why he's cooler than Rex. Cody is cooler than Rex because he has a jetpack. Yeah, when you trim your pieces, you're going to end up with a bunch of excess like this. You know, some people will super glue. Use a super glue and an accelerator to connect their pieces. It's a quicker way to do it. When you do it this way, it does take a little longer for this to cure. To finish building a whole clone, if I take my time, like the first clone that I built, it probably took me, I don't know, 3 to 4 months to get the whole thing done, just because I was learning the process as I go. The fastest I've ever built one, and I wouldn't recommend this because this was like non-stop, several days in a row, in between work. I didn't get a whole lot of sleep. It was exhausting, but I built one in 2 weeks, an entire clone. The probably standard time it takes me to build a clone is usually about 6 weeks. And that's just, because I've got a full-time job. I'm only doing this in my spare time. So about 6 weeks if I'm doing it, an hour or 2 hours a day, and, maybe a little bit more time on the weekends. It's about a 6-week process. Helmet, I can get knocked out in a week, no problem. And that's, just taking my time in between having family time and having other time. So, yeah, the acetone itself, so this, once I get this done, this only takes a couple hours to turn into that slurry, ABS slurry. And so yeah, and you see I've got like that in there. And I'll literally just pour acetone in there. And then you're just going to close it up and let it sit. Come back, stir it up, possibly add a little more, possibly not. But yeah, you want a glass jar because the acetone won't eat through the glass. It will eat through any kind of plastic. So yeah, that's that. Alright, so then we need to get this kind of lined up. Right, so you can see, I don't know if you can see, but there's a little bit here that I need to take off to get closer to the seam. That right there, so. just wanting to get this lined up as straightly as possible, as straight and clean as possible. So when you put that together, it's just one seam. So do this here. So one way I like to get a nice flat edge on these is take a piece of paper, sandpaper, and just take it down on your workbench. So, and then you can just take the pieces and rub them like that. I'll get a much flatter, straighter edge. So you can see this one's got all kinds of little whoop-de-whoops in it down here. It's a little more close to flat. Better. That one's better. Again, I don't think it's going to show. Yeah, there you can see right there. I need to basically take off all of this top edge here to get that lined up perfectly. Do that with a blade. Hey zombies, what's up? Making clone armor, specifically making the forearm for a Commander Cody realistic clone trooper build. So that's what I'm working on. How are you doing today, sir? Or ma'am? Or whoever. That one's closer. That one's pretty good. Yeah, slow and steady wins the race on these, you know. The longer time you take to make these seams closer in the beginning, you know, the better it's going to be in the long run, and the easier it's going to be when you know, go to join these things. So I use a combination of tools. I got a Dremel, I got a hand sander, and I've got some just regular old sandpaper. And I go between all of them. So it's getting much closer to a nice flat edge there. So let me grab one of my shim pieces. Hold on. So I'm going to show you kind of how it's all put together ultimately. So you have these excess pieces of armor when you're cutting out the armor kit, and you'll use these as shims that you will place in the side of the armor. So I will essentially glue this piece here using the ABS slurry I'm making. So this is acetone mixed with cut up pieces of the armor. So you glue that on there, and then you glue the second piece on there, like so. And then you'll use the slurry that you create here to fill in that seam, sand it down, and you get one piece of armor. So that essentially, in a nutshell, is how it's done. But you want to get this as close to flat as you can before you do any of that, just because it makes the process a whole lot easier. So that's what I'm doing now. Much better, much better. So getting closer. It's going to be a little bit of a gap in there, no matter kind of how I do it, but yeah, this is good to go. So I always start the arms, legs. They aren't really affected by anything else. They're kind of their own entity. So I always like to start doing the arms and the legs first. Once I get those done, then I work on the ab, cod, and butt just to get that all together. But yeah, that is ultimately what we're doing here. So yeah, I give this slurry time to get where it's going. I'm gonna go to town on some of these, and we're gonna get started making clone armor. So thanks for being here, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm gonna get out of here on here and see what else is going on. Have a good day. As always, may the force be with you.